Beavemanites and Docutrons, assemble!
Okay, so that's just how it goes. Pokemon Stadium, beating all the foes. I never played it in a chair, I played it on the floor. Every weekend with the
I'm about done with this place here. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean?
Well, the old saying, "There's no place like home." They don't say that for nothing.
Well, no, I don't say it for nothing, but I'm definitely I'm done with this place. This is Beaveman in the Dock with special guest star Skylar, self-proclaimed comic expert, if you will. We didn't mention this last time. Skylar, did you want to plug some stuff?
Hello, comic aficionado, I guess.
Yeah, did you want to plug some stuff? Did you want to plug any of your stuff?
I do music at the beginning of every episode, so it's all original songs and everything that I create, so you can find them on YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, all the basic streaming places.
And where would they find that? What are they looking for? What are they looking under?
It would just be my name, Skylar Beavers.
Okay. All right. Cool. Oh my gosh, it sounds like a dog. Is there a dog somewhere?
Yeah, she walked in. I didn't close the door.
I was like, wow, that might pick the dog up right away. Oh, that's cool.
He probably
as always,
didn't take the guitars down off the wall.
No, who, the dog didn't take the guitars down off the wall?
No, Skylar.
I don't know. Do you have the guitar? You don't have guitars on your wall, do you?
I used to, but not anymore. I took them down.
Okay. Anyway, this is Beaveman in the Dock. I'm the Beaveman.
I'm still the doc.
Here joining us is what I like to call him is Old Man Doc. How you doing, Old Man Doc?
I'm feeling pretty fucking old this week, I can tell you that.
Have you kicked any youngsters off your lawn?
No, but I threatened a few.
Do you have a rocking chair?
No, but I've been thinking about getting one. Putting it out on the front porch where I can keep an eye on them little whippersnappers.
Yeah, it'll get yourself some assistive devices. How far out are you, do you think, from getting Velcro shoes?
God, I wish I had them already. No.
No.
Generally speaking, my shoes don't even have. They don't need Velcro because I just slide them on like moccasins, you know.
Ah, okay. Oh, you do wear like a moccasin type shoe, don't you?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, you're kind of, for somebody who's so conservative, you're kind of hippie like for somebody who's kind of so conservative.
I'm very hippie like. I always have been.
Yeah, but you're a conservative. How are you a hippie if you're a conservative?
I'm not conservative on every subject.
Well, the majority of the subjects.
No,
No?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Oh, well, okay. Anyway.
Just where money is concerned.
Just where money, politics, religion, all those minor things that happen to fall into that realm of whether you're a conservative or liberal.
I don't know.
What's your stance on abortion?
I don't want it, but
You can't get it. You don't want it. You don't need it. You can't get it. You don't have a uterus.
That's good that you don't want it.
Yeah, I mean, that would be bizarre if you did want it.
I
don't
think
know
there
what-
are cases. There are cases where
I mean, that
Where
would really
it's-
stretch your urethra to put a speculum in your urethra. That would be.
it's justified. I think, but I think there are other cases where it's not.
Well, this
So-
isn't a conversation about that. I just wanted to see what. No, this conversation is about a topic that's near and dear to our hearts. It's about Shazam. And no, lightning did not just hit me when I said that. Although that would have been sweet, it did not happen.
I was going to say, speaking of abortions. Oh boy.
That was not an abortion. Okay. So let's start with. Okay, then.
It was totally not like the original comic.
See, this is where. Okay. Anyway, so go ahead, Doc. Let me get Doc's first impression of the movie Shazam. Doc, go.
It was not like the original comic. And I know you say, well, a lot has changed and they're trying to accommodate to newer and younger crowds, but, only one Shazam. One. And
Okay.
And
All right.
and
Continue.
it,
What
it
else?
was
What else you got?
it was supposed to be an Egyptian temple or a pyramid somewhere where his lair was. But
Huh? What?
yeah, yeah.
No.
Originally,
No, it wasn't.
originally
No, it wasn't.
he was like an Egyptian
Nah. Originally, he
superpower.
was just in the Rock of Eternity, dude. There was no pyramid or nothing like that. But anyway, continue with your assessment, please.
Well, much like most DC stuff, they tried to work in a whole bunch of politically correct nonsense. But all that aside, um, changing the story was where I drew the line. I, I, I it was an entertaining movie, but I don't think they should have changed the story
Okay.
from the original.
From the original. So
Yeah.
that was your biggest problem, was that you felt that they changed the story from the original story. What part of the original story do you think was changed?
Well, the whole thing with more than one Shazam.
So from what part of the original storyline are you talking about then?
Well, I don't remember ever seeing more than one.
You don't? You don't remember Mary Marvel? You
Nope.
don't remember Miss Marvel? Really? You don't? See, that's one of my
No.
first memories of Shazam, was him and his sister. So that's why when you were telling me about that, I was like, "Hey, what are you talking about?" There was only like 1 year where Shazam was by himself. And that was way before you and I were ever born. So when he came on the scene, there was already more than one. But okay, so Skylar, what is your take on the movie? Your first impressions of the movie?
I thought it was a really good breath of fresh air because they've all been so terrible lately. So it was nice to have one that was above decent.
Did you see Aquaman?
I still have not seen Aquaman.
Okay, so you're kind of basing it off of the. That's when I would talk about
Squad,
abortions. You're
Justice
talking
League.
about those abortions, Suicide Squad,
Yeah.
Justice League. What's the other one? Batman v Superman. Wonder Woman was good.
Wonder Woman was pretty good.
Yeah, they did good with that.
And
Although, where was her invisible jet, I wonder?
You couldn't see it. It's invisible.
It was in the background of every shot.
No. Yeah, you just clearly it was in there. You couldn't see it. That's the point of the invisible jet.
That's what they say about good storytelling. Show, don't tell.
Right. So, okay, so here's my first impressions of the movie Shazam. I thought it was awesome. And the problem, I guess, anytime, I think we talked about this before, I think with the comic book movies, they're going for more than one thing. And this is what I was, kind of alluding to when I spoke with Doc about it before we were talking about it personally, when we just said, hey, did you see the movie? Is that there is a large portion of the population that views movies from around the world that doesn't even know who Shazam is. So what are they? They're not really violating anything when they tell the story. But if you have read any of the Shazam comics or Captain Marvel and understand anything about it, and that's why I was telling Doc, I'm like, he's always had a part. I mean, his sister has been in the comics since almost the beginning, and so has Marvel Jr. So there's always been a Marvel family. That's why when you were talking to me about it, I'm like, no, dude, there's always been a Marvel family, but it hasn't been that one that you saw in the movies. That one that you saw in the movies has been in the comics since 2011. So if you've read like the Justice League or anything like that, or you read the Rebirth of Shazam with the reboot in the New 52s, that movie that they did followed almost the exact storyline. Skylar.
Yeah, I mean,
comic genius.
It's pretty interesting because most of the movies that they make now, superhero movies, they're not based on the old comics that most people grew up with. If you look at Marvel's cinematic universe, that's based off of their Ultimate Comics line, which is really as new as the year 2000. So a lot of the different studios, they're going with more of the newer stories and following more closely to that. Where especially like now, Nick Fury back in the day used to be Commando who was in the army that was white, and now Samuel L. Jackson is Nick Fury. That's all from like 2010 and up.
Right, and like that goes back to what I said. You're going to be dealing with all these people that have never read the comics, and we're talking about around the world. How popular is Shazam around the world? But the movie grossed a ton around the world. So and I think I was talking to Skylar and I were talking about it. When they had all the problems with Fawcett Comics and with DC or whatever it was called, who was it DC that sued them basically for making Shazam so much like Superman or making Captain Marvel so much like Superman. And then there was that point in time where they did not have the rights to the comic or they let it lapse. Somebody got lazy on it. And then the United Kingdom made their own superhero. What did I tell you? It was a Miracle Man. Yeah. It was Billy Batson grown up.
Didn't DC own the rights to Superman from the very beginning?
Yeah, but they called them... What did they call them? Action Comics. They were Action Comics first. So when Superman appeared in 39... 39? 38?
It's either 39 or like 32.
38.
I think it's 38. Because I think... Yeah, because didn't... Because then Batman would have came on in 40.
39.
It was like
39 or 40. Yeah.
Shazam was in 40.
And Shazam was 40. So it was originally Action Comics. Well, then Fawcett called them Whiz Comics or whatever. So yeah. But since like 41, Captain Marvel's had Marvel Jr. and then like 41 or 42 or something like that, they've got Mary Marvel or Ms. Marvel. So he's always had a Marvel family, way before you and I were ever born, Doc. It's just we're used to him by himself, and I do prefer him by himself personally.
It's kind of
because in the TV show, in the TV series back in the 70s, they never mentioned anyone else other than Billy Batson. He was it.
Yeah, I don't.
He was a college student at that point.
He had they had some other Egyptian chick that was on there, like Ibis or something like that.
Isis.
Or whatever. I don't remember what it was.
That's why I always thought that he was Egyptian, because when she
that's
would
racist.
Appear,
First of all, that's racist.
ISIS?
You just naturally assumed that Billy Batson was Egyptian. What?
No, that his power was drawn from the powers of Egypt. Because Isis is a goddess, and the idea that maybe she was the one who gave him his power.
If anything,
they never really explained that in the original show, the TV series.
Well,
and don't you remember on Saturday mornings the Shazam and Isis Power Hour?
That didn't age very well.
No, they've remastered it in HD. It's pretty horrible. I watched a couple episodes and they changed Captain Marvel. It was a different dude. At least unless he looks completely different, because then I watched another one and he has like this pot belly and like back fat. And I was like, could they have not got someone? I mean, he's got to wear a one-piece red costume. You probably shouldn't. The belt's not going to cover up that flank, that fat flank. I mean, I know I got a fat flank. There's no belt, there's no super belt that you can put on me that's going to cover up that fat flank. So that was kind of amusing. But if you get a chance, Doc, you should watch that show. It really stands up to the test of time.
It was a long time ago.
It does not. It does not stand up to the test of time. It's pretty bad.
I think it's been nearly 40 years since I saw that. So.
Well, you should treat yourself, and go watch an episode. You'll love it. The hairstyles, it's all good. It's all great. What did you think about Shazam's outfit, his costume, his superhero garb? Doc, what do you think?
I thought it was pretty accurate.
Wrong. No, just kidding. Go ahead. Just kidding.
Seemed fine to me.
Seemed fine to you? You thought it stuck true to the original, the unitard?
Yes.
Yes. What did you know? Did you notice anything particular from the old comics that might have struck you as interesting in regard to the super suit?
I don't remember his cape having a hood.
No, but that's pretty freaking awesome, I thought.
Yeah, I guess some adaptations are okay.
I thought that is in the new 52. And I don't know. I don't think it's in the reissues of '97 when they started again, but it is in the new 52 that he's got a little hoodie. Because before he had a lot of where the cape was kind of just off to his left side, kind of just hung there. And he had like the like the cowboy or the Rough Rider chest plate or buttoned up chest. So that was kind of cool. But no, I thought this one was good. Plus they got rid of the little flaps over the top of the boot. But did you notice anything special about the other than that was maybe foretold of something to come?
Like as far as his costume?
As far as that costume, yeah.
No, I didn't necessarily remember or notice anything specific about the costume other than I would have thought that the cape would have had glyphs along the edges.
Oh yeah, like how it did along the edges, but not big like we were used to.
Yeah.
If you looked really closely, kind of that lined it, it did have the little tiny ones, but not like the big looking like flowers like our Shazam had.
Yeah.
Oh. But it did have like little ones that you could kind of see. Now, Skylar, you're a Marvel guy, so you don't know as much about Shazam. Did you notice anything that might have foretold of something from the comics, or a nod to the comics, or that something might be just saying that this is what's coming by looking at his costume? The other ones had it too. I noticed.
No, I haven't. I wasn't able to tell that much. The only thing I really noticed about the costume was way back years and years ago when like set photos came out of his costume. Just like different shots of Zachary Levi in that costume. I don't know. I was focused on how good the actual suit looked in general. It looked really good.
Yeah, the boots were a huge improvement.
Yeah.
For one thing, I like the hood on the cape, but if you look very closely at all of them, the clasp basically on each side, they have little gold clasps.
Oh,
their cape in place.
the tigers.
They're tigers. So I'm like, okay, there's the nod to Tawny Tiger,
right?
Or Talkie Tawny from the comic series, which Doc, you probably don't know anything about, I'm guessing.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, there's a couple.
So there's a tiger. There's a tiger that is associated with the Marvel family for years, and it's Talkie Tawny. It's a tiger from India. So that's what they're nodding at. And you notice how he's like in the beginning, he wants to win the tiger, and then in the movie also he gives the tiger to the little girl when she's scared. That's all a part of that. So that's why I think that they're kind of saying, oh, we're going to have the tiger in the movies to come.
I'm sure they will. I think they just thought first movie would be a bit much. You got to break they always have they say there's a point where the audience completely breaks from the story and it's unbelievable. I think a talking tiger would have pushed it a little bit too far on the first try.
If they would have done it like the New 52 did, what the New 52 did was Billy was actually... He had memories of a tiger in a zoo from the time he was very little. His parents took him to see the tiger, and he would go there and feed the tiger. And then in the New 52 comic series, when Black Adam attacks him, one of the parts where they're at the zoo and the tiger breaks out and attacks Black Adam, and Black Adam punches the tiger, and Billy says Shazam and uses the living lightning and hits the tiger. The tiger becomes his, I don't know, another Shazam, basically.
That's pretty crazy.
As a tiger. Yeah. So, but the problem is he splits his powers between everybody. When they didn't really show that in the movie.
Not too much.
Now, are you saying that the clasps don't have tigers on it in the movie?
No, they do have tigers on them.
Oh yeah, they're engraved.
Yeah,
kind of hard to see.
Yeah, they're little tiger heads. Well, see, I was looking for stuff, so I watched the movie the first time. And just got, a huge kick out of it. Didn't realize there was a post-credit scene.
Yeah.
I saw the first scene, but there's a post-credit scene. Did you know that, Doc?
Yeah. We sat in the theater for a minute and watched all of it.
Oh, you saw the very end scene?
Yeah.
Where he makes fun of Aquaman?
No.
You're silent. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. There's another scene.
Yeah, there's two.
There's a whole
It wasn't
other
Aquaman.
Scene.
It wasn't
there's
Aquaman.
a whole other scene. There's a whole other scene. Yeah, at the very end, he's trying to talk. Freddy wants him to talk to a goldfish, and he makes fun of that power. He's like, he busts on Aquaman. So it's pretty cute. So no, but you saw the scene where Savannah's like scratching on the walls and Mr. Mind talks to him.
Yeah, that part I saw.
What do you know about the development of this movie, Skylar?
I know that it took a very long time for this idea to get off the ground. The
Damn near 20 years.
Yeah, the first updates I saw was they were trying around the year 2000 to get this movie made, which is so early. That's before even Spider-Man had a successful movie, or before even that's around when the X-Men were getting their time. So to think that they wanted to do a Shazam movie in the year 2000 is kind of crazy.
Especially since when they would have been thinking about doing the Shazam movie early in the 2000s, he would have still been Captain Marvel.
Yeah, there was still like murky waters with everything going on there.
Because it wasn't for DC, they didn't start calling him Shazam, 100% calling him Shazam until 2011.
Right.
When they rebooted the New 52.
Yeah, because I remember in the original show, the TV series that I was so fond of, Shazam was the word that he used to change, and the title of the show was also Shazam. So,
Yeah, the thing with it, the thing with the TV show though is the TV show didn't really follow the comics that closely. That was the other thing that was goofy.
well, I'm learning that now.
Yeah, they did that. They did that to make it for us to have a cool TV show, just like Wonder Woman and when we had Superman and all that. And you could see sometimes you could see Spider-Man on the what was it
The electric company, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you could see Spider-Man shoot a net on somebody and they'd put the cool little blinky lights on it or whatever, and it was just like a giant fishing net. You remember that?
Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Well, that was a cool cartoon.
I enjoyed it.
That cartoon was sweet.
Had Firestar and Iceman.
And Firestar. Yeah, that was sweet. That was ground. That was a good cartoon. That still stands up to test time if you can see that one. But yeah, there's if you remember, so that was the live action show Shazam, and then when he would talk to the elders, they were cartoons. They were drawn as cartoons. You remember that?
Oh.
Yeah,
I wish I could remember it.
Yeah, so they weren't even. So there was no wizard. That was the goofy thing, is they would actually talk to, because Shazam's an acronym, right? So when he would go and talk to the elders, they had this little. It's really crazy. You should watch it, Doc. I'm sure you can YouTube it. But they had in their RV, on the front of the RV, it had the Shazam lightning bolt on it. And then when the elders wanted to contact them, or they wanted to contact the elders, they had this little red orb with like gold protrusions all over it, and it would start blinking and blipping and making noise. And then he would talk to them, and they were cartoons. So he would be talking to Zeus and Achilles and Atlas and Hercules and stuff, and they're all telling him, "Today, Billy, you'll meet a child who has to make a tough decision between stealing to win his friend's approval or doing the right thing." Gosh, elders. Yeah, it was that kind of thing. This is a TV show that Doc remembers so fondly.
Well,
but no, it didn't really stick to the storyline too much from the comics. It was just like anything else. They broadly adapted. They adapted toward the to the audience.
Like I said, it was damn near 40 years ago, but still.
That's no excuse. You should have done your homework and watched that show a few hundred times.
No, I don't do homework for this show.
Yeah, that's very clear. That's very clear. No, but in the TV show, they don't even mention the wizard, really. But that's the key. That's the key component of everything. The wizard's the one who gave him his power in the first place, and the wizard's name is Shazam in some of the adaptations, and not in some of the other adaptations. He's more commonly called the Wizard than anything. But I thought that was a great line there where he was telling Billy to hold his shaft or grab his shaft and say his name or touch my shaft. Put your hand upon my shaft and say your name or my name or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'd leave too.
No, I thought they made a really good choice. Here's okay, so here's the not inconsistencies. Here's what I like what they did and what I didn't like what they did. I like that they didn't make Billy Batson the pure of heart kid that he was in the past. But that follows the New 52. I like it that they made him older. So he's almost 15. And I like that he tells the wizard how it is. It's the same thing he does in the New 52, that I want to be good, but good people get beat down and taken advantage of, and you're never going to find somebody who's pure of heart. So that's why he picks them to be, to be Shazam. So I like that part of it. I like that adaptation, which is very close to the New 52. What was interesting is that they didn't introduce Black Adam.
I was kind of upset about that.
But I think it's because, from what I've read, it's because that movie is finally going to be made.
Yeah,
It's going to make a separate
after
movie.
like 6 years of talking about it and casting.
And Doc, who do you think is going to be Black Adam?
Oh, probably The Rock.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be The Rock. They've had.
I don't
The
know
Rock
how
since almost The Rock has been on board from almost since the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I think 2007.
Only because he's already got the physique
What,
for it.
Doc? Because he's black?
Because he's already got the physique for it.
Thought you were gonna say because his name is already Adam. Just have to shut that down real quick.
He's not really black anyway. Is he black?
He's
is
from
Justin black?
Hawaii.
I thought he's Hawaiian. He's
Yeah,
Hawaiian.
he's
isn't
from
he? Or
Hawaii.
I don't know. But he's not from Egypt.
No.
We can definitely agree on that. He's not from Egypt.
I don't think color in Egypt would matter because Moon Knight, all his powers come from Egypt, and he's entirely white. He's a white man in New York City.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I mean,
what I
the
was trying
comics
to
like white
describe
people.
earlier. Is that I thought the
Listen.
power was Egyptian because of the goddess that I thought created the power. I always thought that Isis was tied to it because of the cartoons.
Well, Isis is gone now, so it doesn't really matter, I suppose.
But they could bring her back. I guess.
Oh, I meant the organization.
Oh, you meant that. Oh, now it's just ice. Okay, sure. Right. I don't know. I just thought it was cool that they've been working on this since 2000. But when you read Wikipedia, when you read the timeline and everything, it's funny that they've been working on this for so long and couldn't decide on a script, but doesn't seem like they brought a comic writer on.
No.
And when they finally brought a comic book writer on, basically all they did was, and I don't know if he's the one who wrote the New 52, Shazam, issue 0 and all the other ones that were attached to all the other Justice Leagues, because it's almost the exact same story. It's almost exactly the same. The only difference is in the New 52, he's fighting Black Adam, not Dr. Sivana. Dr. Sivana's there with the creepy eye, but he's not the one they're fighting.
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
But the person that they picked to play Dr. Sivana is an awesome actor. I love him as Merlin in
Kingsman.
Kingsman.
Oh, the Kingsman.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He's a good actor. And he was in that movie with Sacha Baron Cohen where he played his brother.
Oh,
did you see that movie? Oh, that was a good movie. Where he's like a spy.
Yeah,
but they're brothers. Yeah, that was a good movie. But no, he's a great actor, so he played a good Dr. Sivana. But the other thing that I liked was obviously I liked that they followed a decent storyline, but I really wish that they would just have stuck with killing his parents off instead of what the route that they went.
The route they went is kind of interesting because at some point in the movie, I forgot that's what he was even doing, is trying to find his parents. And then it didn't feel like too much of a detour, though, when he goes back to find out what happened to his parents. I think it fit kind of naturally and went along with like he's just kind of supposed to make his own destiny and his new family is his real family. I think that kind of tied it together decently well.
Well, they had to sever his ties by satisfying his curiosity as to who his mother is and what she was all about. So
I just like the fact that in the old comics, Billy's been an orphan from in the majority of the comics. I don't think that diverges until the New 52. So he's always been, and it was always just a matter of how did his parents die. So either they died in a car crash, or we find out in the other series that Black Adam actually killed them, or whatever. And why it's kind of cool is because when Billy says Shazam and becomes Captain Marvel, he is becoming the ideal or the epitome of what he considers to be the perfect mortal form, and his face is the face of his father's.
Ooh, that is pretty cool. Not
So that's cool. So, and that's why people kind of recognize him. They're like, he looks so familiar. It's because that's Billy's idea of what a superhero is his dad. So it's this caricature in his mind that, and the same thing as the name. Shazam didn't give him the name Captain Marvel. He gave himself that
right.
name. So that, I think that part's cool. So I don't like the fact that in this movie series, Billy's a foster. I mean, I don't mind that he's a foster kid, but in this series, it's his mom ditched him and his dad's in jail.
Yeah, it
So
does take a
that
little
means
bit
we're gonna
away.
probably, yeah. I do like the type of character he is. He's a street smart person or whatever, but I don't like that. That's the part that I did not like. I'm like, just kill his parents off. Stick with the Disney theme of killing everybody off in the beginning or whatever.
That's pretty interesting. Yeah, they did it would make more sense because he just kind of turns into a random guy in the movie. At least now, he just decides to, whenever he says Shazam, he just kind of becomes this random person that doesn't have really anything formative to do with his character. But they didn't dwell too much on that, I feel.
No, they didn't, and that's why I like the old idea better. How they developed that character. I thought the character development from the old days is much better in that regard. I think that would have been neater to see, but we won't see his parents because obviously, one ditched him and the other one's in jail and has nothing to do with him.
Right.
Thoughts, Doc?
No,
Anything
no,
you
you
can
guys are
remember
covering
from
it pretty
anything
well.
you can
I'm just,
remember from the '70s TV show in regard to? I don't even remember. Was he an orphan in the '70s TV show?
I don't remember anything about references to his parents. Like I said, I'm pretty sure he was like a college student.
He was just riding around with some creepy old dude that they called Mentor.
Well, he might as well have not had parents if that was his life choices.
Yeah, just hanging out in an RV with some guy called Mentor. Yeah, wearing the same red shirt. It's the same red shirt.
Interesting.
They make some. If you really want to see some, in my opinion, if you want to see some really good Shazam, if you want to see some good Shazam animated stuff, you gotta look at some of the some of the Justice League or the New Justice League, or they've got a couple of Shazam movies that they did. There's a really good Shazam Superman movie where they fight Black Adam, which is an origin story for Billy. That's a really good one. There's some good comics also where Superman knows Billy's identity issue in the very beginning, which is kind of funny because you're like, well, geez, Superman, you couldn't find that kid a family. He's just living out by himself.
He's just fighting with the Justice League, then goes home to sleep in a sewer. Superman's chilling.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it was, Batman's going home to a mansion, and nobody wonders what's Billy doing? Oh, we didn't even know Billy was a kid.
He just
So.
Well, I've been kind of looking around online while you guys are talking about
so
that.
you're not focused.
And it looks like
I'm hearing.
it looks like they're looking into the possibility of like a
okay, before you
three-way
say anything,
matchup
I just
between
want to
Shazam, Black Adam, and
before
Superman.
Before you say anything, okay, you already said it, so that's fine. I was just gonna say, are you gonna say something that we already said? Because that's coming. You do that sometimes. So a three-way matchup. What do you mean?
Between Shazam, Black Adam, and Superman.
Like they're all gonna fight each other?
Well, yeah.
Well, there should already be making the Black Adam movie. It's supposed to be a separate movie first.
Yeah, Black Adam comes first.
Maybe they're going to include Shazam and Superman as part of his origin story.
It'll be interesting to see what they do because Henry Cavill does not. He's dropping a lot of hints that he's not out as Superman, but he just didn't want to do the cameo in Shazam that would have taken probably an hour.
See, I heard it wasn't that he didn't want to do it, is that he had scheduling conflicts and couldn't do it.
I've heard mixed things. I've heard because Warner Brothers' official statement was that they just couldn't make it work, and I heard it was a bunch of different things that just fell apart.
Well, the cool thing is, do you know who did the cameo?
No, I have no idea.
The guy who did the cameo is actually what's the guy's name? Who's Zach Levi. It was his stuntman.
Yeah,
Huh.
that makes sense.
So clearly that guy's built pretty
Yeah.
well.
He looked more built than Henry Cavill usually looks.
Well, it depends on the movie. What was it? The first one was it the first or second one? Henry Cavill was pretty. It must have been
Man
the
of
first
Steel,
one.
yeah.
He was pretty. He was pretty.
Then
big.
after that, he just kind of looks normal.
Yeah. Well, Christopher Reeve was never ripped. He was just a big
Yeah,
dude.
I mean they.
Yeah, he was like
And,
what, 6'3", 6'4", something like that.
He's just a big guy. Good, had the perfect square jaw. He was the perfect Superman.
It's only like it seems recently, like probably upwards of the 2000s era, where they're all obsessed with showing off that these superheroes have like 8-pack abs, and I'm like, well, if you go back and look, like, you look at Blade, he just looks like a dude in a trench coat. He's just going out doing whatever.
Yeah, and Blade could actually kick all their
Yeah.
asses.
So it's
Well, Wesley Snipes, I'm
Right.
saying, not just Blade. I mean, Wesley Snipes could kick all their asses, and he's only what, like 5'.
he's not that he's not
maybe?
that tall.
5'8", 5'8". He's probably as tall as me. He's probably like 5'9". I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not though, but yeah, he could actually still probably now kick all their asses. But
the,
no, they're
the camera sure makes him look fast.
that's because he's a vampire. He's half vampire. He has to look fast. He has to look very, very fast. Anyway, so I like to think in my mind that Henry Cavill wanted to do it, but he just couldn't because of scheduling conflicts. Because in my mind, I like to think that he's not a dick.
Yeah.
Or
He
that
seems
they-
like he'd be nice.
Or if he didn't get to do it, it was because they were being dicks and didn't let him do it.
Yeah.
Well, if you noticed in Justice League how his upper lip looked funny, that's because he wouldn't shave his mustache.
Well, he couldn't shave it because he was filming Mission Impossible, and he was doing that first.
See, that was the movie he was filming at the same time. Remember that we were talking about that, Doc? That's the movie.
the
he was
latest
filming.
Mission Impossible.
Mission
Yeah.
Impossible.
His character had a mustache.
Which I don't like him with a mustache. I'm cool with him with
Yeah,
a beard. That mustache has got to go.
It was.
He's not a
It
mustache.
was- it was
is
not worth the-
Unless you're Tom Selleck.
Yeah, it was not worth the millions upon millions of dollars they used to remove that thing.
No, but what a great job for those people that can actually do that, manipulate the computer or the manipulate the
that's
digital
crazy
film
to
to
do
do
that.
that.
Well,
Those people are going to be the richest people in the world eventually because they are really good at what they do.
Yeah,
Well, I don't know about that because his lip looked pretty messed up.
I couldn't even.
What do you mean you don't know about that? Look what they just did with Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel and
If-
Civil War, all the de-aging that they're basically
Look
doing.
how good they're doing. Look
They
how
CGI
amazing they're doing.
They had trouble CGIing a mustache off of
To
somebody's
be
face.
fair, it's Warner Brothers. They had a lot more trouble to deal with than that. They probably were giving up at that point.
Yeah, if you're looking at a budget from a movie, if that wasn't what they were focused on, obviously they probably wouldn't have got spent worried about it too much. But look at Captain Marvel and how well they did with Samuel L. Jackson's face.
Yeah.
They didn't spend as much money on Agent Coulson's face because we didn't get to see him that much. But we saw Samuel L. Jackson the whole damn movie. How much of that did that suck up from their budget? That had
And
to
they
be
had
a
to
lot.
create like a whole bunch of new. They started doing it with Tony Stark in Civil War, but they only did it for like 30 seconds. But they basically made like a new way of CGI to de-age all those people, and then they do it with like Ant-Man and all those movies.
Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't they
and,
use?
and originally when they did it with when they did it with Iron Man, it didn't look good. So you could tell that was
you could tell.
new technology. It didn't look good, but Samuel L. Jackson looked good.
Yeah, they've come pretty far, and it's only been like 3 years that they've been trying to perfect that technology, and they used it for an entire movie.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't when they did the Justice League, clearly it hadn't been going on that long, and it probably wasn't that big of a deal of their focus for them. But I still think that he could have just shaved the damn thing off, and they could have put a different mustache on him, and he could have grown that
That's
mustache.
one of the things.
and they
That's
just-
one of the things they discussed, and the Mission Impossible people said that they were not going to have that because he was doing their movie now, and they just didn't care.
That's such bullshit. I'm like, okay, you can't put a fake mustache on somebody and make it look real. A mustache on him looked dumb
It
in the
didn't
first
look
place.
very well.
It looked
And
horrible.
oh, never mind.
What? You were going to
I
talk
was-
about your mustache? Were you going to talk about your mustache?
It's probably
Well,
fake.
no, it's the point that he was saying that the Mission Impossible creators just didn't care, and I was
No,
going
they
to
didn't
say,
care
well,
about they didn't care about the Superman movie.
why? I was going to say, yeah, right. Well, I was going to say, why don't they just say that his character shaved the damn mustache off for
Halfway
that matter?
through, yeah.
Right? He
But
finally looked in the mirror
then-
and said, "I look like a douche. I need to
Just
get
him
rid of
shaving
this."
to save Justice League.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. The other movies are like, we don't give a crap about your movie. He's in our movie.
It would have
right now."
made it would have only made sense if the same studio making Mission Impossible was making Justice League. If they're not making the same money, they don't care.
I bet you is that dickhead Tom Cruise. It was like, no, you're not shaving your mustache. I don't care what anybody says.
Tiny Tom Cruise.
He's like, I will get the whole nation of Scientology against you.
He said, "You take one hair out of that mustache, I will replace you myself." And they didn't. They just knew it wouldn't work, so they didn't let him shave it.
He's like, I will play both roles because I'm so
Like, Tom,
awesome.
I'm pretty sure you're just trying to kill yourself at this point.
He's like, I'm just gonna run really fast this entire movie. Please, just let's have multiple scenes of me running for no particular reason.
Yeah,
I actually sat through that movie. It was
I
not
can't
good.
watch any. I've heard the early ones are okay.
The early
Yeah.
ones kick ass. What was the first one, Doc? Just regular
Yeah.
Mission Impossible. Is that what the first one was?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
John Voight, and yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
I've
I
heard the
enjoyed that.
early ones are really good,
Yeah.
but now, especially if you watch the trailers for the new ones, it's like what Saw did to gore, but Tom Cruise is doing to action. Like it's just 2 hours of the same scenes over and over again.
Well, you have to watch him run.
Ugh.
That's a common theme now. Either we have to see him in his underwear because he started that whole thing in
Yeah.
risky business, or we have to watch him run somewhere quickly, and then they got to speed up the film to make it look even faster. Which is a funny thing to watch. His little legs
He's
go
so
very
tiny. How can an action
funny
star
to
be so small?
How tall is he in real life? I wonder.
He's 4'3".
He's a very small fudge packer.
He's very
Fudge
tiny.
packer.
He's very angry. He's a very angry man.
He is 5'7" according to
That's
his
a
bio.
lie. That's a lie.
In heels. He's 5'7" in heels. I always liked the pictures of him when he was married to Nicole Kidman and they're standing next to each other. It looks like she's like 6 foot tall. It's just hilarious. Anyway, now he's going to track it. Now the followers of Scientology, if we have any followers of Scientology, no, we don't. They're not
Please
listening
leave.
to us.
All viewpoints are
I'm not
considered, but
worried.
please
I'm
go.
not scared. I'm not worried.
I'm not
scared.
gonna shun the Scientologists.
Here we go.
I'll take their money. Their money's as
wasn't
good as
shutting-
anybody
I
else's.
wasn't shutting them either. I was just saying, if we have any Scientologists listening, please don't take offense. But then again, I am like, fuck you. I don't really care because one, you're not listening, and if you were listening, I
Scientology
don't
is just
care either.
A book club, a very expensive book club.
Yeah, they don't get it though. They don't understand that that's what they're doing.
It's a racket set up to avoid taxes. That's what it is.
Anyway, back to Shazam, for God's
Who
sake.
pays his taxes? There, now we're back on track.
As far as we know. What was the other thing that I really liked? See, now I forgot. Oh, Doc, you're a Catholic, sort of, even though you're a really bad one.
Correct.
You are a horrible Catholic.
I admit that.
Please tell us, what are the 7 deadly sins?
Okay. Greed, gluttony, sloth, anger,
First 3 already described Doc to a T. Please continue.
anger, envy. God, I can't remember the last 2.
You got more than I would get if somebody asked me. You said, wrath.
Wrath. Well, anger.
Yeah,
So,
anger's wrath. So pride, greed, lust.
oh yeah,
envy,
pride. I didn't say pride.
Envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth.
Lust.
That's it. Yeah, I said lust.
Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride. Yeah, there they are.
So 5 out of those describe you, Doc.
You're not doing very well.
I don't know about gluttony.
What?
I don't know about sloth.
Gluttony and sloth were my number ones for you.
And I don't think envy fits. Pride?
No, but I would
Sometimes.
go with gluttony, sloth, and lust. That's your 3.
Well, definitely lust.
Disgusting.
I can't deny that one. Gluttony, I don't see it.
You just look down.
I don't see myself as a greedy person either.
Didn't say greed. Oh.
And I don't know what I'm envious of. No.
Well, I'm sure listeners heard that one. Anyway, he stuck that one in.
I probably don't want to know.
It's like putting a cake in an oven. He just kind of slid that in there. You didn't notice. Okay, well, here's where I think they're going with the Shazam movie. They kind of mentioned it a little bit at the end. If you notice when that little prick Thaddeus got taken to the Rock of Eternity and not some planet in Egypt. In the very beginning, did you notice under glass that Mr. Mind was under glass, Doc?
No.
Oh, okay. So when that little prick Thaddeus was in the car arguing with his father and brother, who were also douchebags, he goes to the Rock of Eternity. He's talking to the wizard. When he walks in, underneath glass is Mr. Mind, the worm. And then when Billy Batson is in there later, the glass is broken and Mr. Mind is gone. And then he shows up at the end. So clearly where they're going with it, they're setting up the next movies for, obviously we're going to see Black Adam and we're going to see Mr. Mind. And I don't know if they're planning on going to the different realms of magic, if that's their plan.
It'll be weird. It'll be weird to see how they do it, because you have to imagine how slow he moves as a caterpillar. It probably, from the time that he broke out until we see him next, he's probably moving entirely to that jail cell because he knows what's coming in like 40 years.
Right, he's super slow. Well, he's a magical, he's genius also, so I'm sure he's got some sort of...
Stephen Hawking was a genius and he couldn't walk.
Well, it's true, he didn't, yeah, Stephen Hawking, if you were... Oh, no, he's not. We don't have to worry about that either. If people who love Stephen Hawking find it insulting that we just compared him to Mr. Mind...
Well, that should be good. He's like a otherworldly genius.
Well. Right.
Okay, you guys were talking about Black Adam.
Yeah.
Were we?
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
Feels
I
like
want to
10
bring
years
I want to
ago.
bring the conversation back to something on that real quick.
You're like, fuck that worm. You're like, fuck that worm. I don't care what he metamorphosizes into later. He's too slow right now, and he's not a scary villain.
Yeah, maybe he will be, but
no, he's not. He's not scary. But Black Adam is. Go ahead.
According to what I
Update us.
just
Update us.
according
on
to
Black
what I
Adam.
just read,
No, go ahead. Will you?
Black Adam.
Go ahead. No,
How
go ahead.
little attention are you paying to this
Please.
show?
He was an
You're
Egyptian.
looking stuff up.
He was an Egyptian,
You're
not,
looking stuff
not
up.
Hawaiian.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I didn't say Black Adam was Hawaiian. I didn't say Black
Dwayne
Adam
"The
was
Rock"
Hawaiian.
Johnson
I
is
said his name
Hawaiian.
Dwayne Johnson Hawaiian.
Black Adam can be whatever he wants to be. He's fake. He's fictional.
Yes,
Well,
he was
it says-
originally. Please, yeah, go ahead.
His given name when he was born was Teth Adam,
Teth Adam,
which
which
is
means
Egyptian.
which means
Oh, he didn't look that up while we were talking.
Mighty
look it
human.
up quick. Right. Okay.
Had to read through the page quickly.
like, hold on, I got it. Like, fuck you guys, I got it.
It's when speed reading comes real in handy.
Look, continue.
But he hasn't scrolled that
No,
far
I
yet.
just wanted to make that point because
That's all you got? That was it?
Wow.
yeah, there's all kinds
was
of
it. That
references,
was it.
Egyptian references in the Shazam world.
Yeah, we
And
didn't say
you
that.
guys-
We didn't.
You guys
we
were
didn't say
making
he
fun of me
wasn't-
for thinking he was an
Well,
Egyptian
Shazam isn't.
superhero.
No, you said Shazam was.
This was before Black Adam was even in the conversation.
You said Captain Marvel was Egyptian. I said no, he wasn't.
Now, you better
the
listen to that
original-
again.
And the original wizard, who was depending on what storyline you are, so he's from ancient times. So the wizard's like 5,000 years old by the time Billy Batson meets him. He's older than that because he banished Black Adam, and it took Black Adam 5,000 years to get back here. So he's even older than that. So when Shazam was the original, the wizard, whatever his name happens to be, I don't remember what it is. I think they just called him Champion. He was the original, like Shazam. Was it like the Captain Marvel? And he got old. He picked a new hero, and the hero he picked was Teth Adam, who was a good guy for a long time, but then he used his powers for vengeance, and he got banished by the wizard, and it took him 5,000 years to get back here. But yes, he was in the actually his country is not Egypt, it's Kandak.
Well, if there was one person you could pick to confuse all the sand countries, I guess it would be the one who did confuse them.
All right.
So-
Shazam informs the original. Shazam informs Billy that he is an ancient Egyptian wizard, not just a wizard, not just a plain wizard. He's an Egyptian wizard.
Where are you reading this?
It's on Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is not
on
a source. Aren't you in
Wikipedia.
school?
Hey, I defy those rules.
I would say, here's what I would say. Yes, I would agree with you. The Black Adam is from a nation not unlike Egypt, if not Egypt. How's that?
And
that
so
is
was
in
the
golden
wizard,
age, and that is
The
the
original
golden age of
wizard that
comics.
gave Shazam his powers.
You know, anybody can edit Wikipedia. Is that what you've been doing this whole time?
Have you been changing the resources that we were going to go look up to?
Look,
make
guys,
sure
I
that you
swear
were
it says
accurate?
Egypt.
Because if you're doing that,
Last edited 3 minutes ago.
Oh no, yeah. In the golden age of comics, he is Egyptian. In the New 52, he's not. He's from an imaginary country. The wizard is older than Egypt, I believe. So he's around from like Mesopotamia or something like that. I don't know. So it depends on what age of comics I guess we're talking about. If you really want to watch a really funny clip, though, watch Teen Titans Go meets Shazam. Because that's really funny. You know, in the original comics, when Billy meets the wizard is sitting under the Rock of Eternity. This is a funny part of the storyline, which doesn't make any sense. He's sitting underneath the Rock of Eternity, right? Which is basically this giant slab of granite or stone or whatever, and it's suspended by a string while he's talking to Billy, and he's sitting in a chair underneath this giant rock. And Billy's like, dude, you really should like get out of that chair because you've got a stone above your head. He's like, yeah, I know it's there. It's my destiny or whatever. And he's telling Billy about the power, and he gives Billy the power, and he's like, say my name or whatever. And Billy says Shazam, and that severs the string, and the rock falls down and crushes the wizard and kills him. And that's the original story.
That is
which
really
is
funny.
really humorous. And this is the 1939 or 1939 or 1940 or whatever. That's the original story. And so then the wizard is a ghost, basically, that lives on the Rock of Eternity.
So George Lucas really got his influence from Shazam.
Very long time ago, exactly. He's Obi-Wan Kenobi or whatever. But it's funny, in Teen Titans Go, they meet Shazam, and they're asking him all kinds of questions, and then they're just messing with him. And so he takes them to meet the wizard, and the wizard is sitting in that same chair underneath the Rock of Eternity, and they're like, why don't you move? He's like, it's my destiny. He's like, it's my destiny to abide by the Rock of Eternity. And they're like, no, you really should just move. And he's like, no, it's my destiny. And they just push his chair out from underneath the Rock of Eternity. That's very funny. But that wasn't in the 70s TV show. He was not under an RV.
I think Doc is off doing some research.
So definitely go watch that, Doc. It's hilarious. Doc, are you doing research again?
No,
What are you looking up? What are you looking up now?
He's ordering a pizza right now.
you really want to know?
What are you looking
boy.
at? What does it have to do with Shazam? What are you looking at right now? What have you learned?
It's
Tell
a
me what have you learned
reference
about
to
Shazam.
it was a reference to Black Adam that I was following.
Black Adam is not black. Okay, first of all, stop calling him that.
Anyway, Black Adam that I was following,
African American Adam.
talking about how Black Adam recently acquired the power of the goddess Isis. Interesting that isn't his power very similar to that which Shazam has?
Okay, so which iteration are you talking about, though? So this gets really goofy. You want me to get really good? Okay, man, I will blow your mind on how goofy it really gets. Okay, so originally, Billy and Shazam share the same power, given to them by the wizard. Okay,
Right.
and they share the acronym. So they've got the wisdom of King Solomon. They've got the strength of Hercules. They've got the what is the A? They've got the stamina of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the courage of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. So that is the original power, right?
Right.
And that power was given to Black Adam. Black Adam retained that power even after he was banished. He's been trying to get back here that entire time. For 5,000 years, he's been trying to get back here. So the power that Shazam gives to Billy is split between him and Black Adam. That's why Black Adam wants to kill Billy. He wants all the power. So, in the new 52 iteration, later on, they don't use the same powers. They come up with some other goofy, it's still Shazam, but it's all these different gods that Billy gets for a little period of time instead of the originals. So maybe that's why they're saying that Black Adam obtains some other powers.
Oh.
In most of the iterations, some of the early ones, they beat Black Adam by getting him to say Shazam. Because if you get him to say Shazam, he's over 5,000 years old, and he will go back to his actual human form and be dead. That's how they defeat him. It's kind of like what's his
when
name?
you have to make
Blitzlick
him-
or what's his
Yeah.
name? Yeah.
Mixel Splitlick or whatever. It's hard to pronounce.
Well, Doc could not defeat him. We've just learned this.
well, he has to get him to say his name. You
Say
know,
Mr. Mixelix.
or whatever.
What?
say it.
Mixel Flick.
Well, that's how you get him to say it. You just keep saying it wrong. He's like, that's not how you say it, idiot. You say
Classic
it like this.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, I thought I don't know if you guys follow Supergirl, but I thought they did a pretty cool way of getting him to say his name.
Is that it?
Are you talking about
I
Supergirl?
was-
Are you talking about
new
Supergirl,
one.
the television series?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
haven't
they had
seen it.
Mixel
I haven't
Flick in
seen-
there, and I call him Mixel Flick, but it's only because it's easier to say. But yeah, they had him on the show, and they got him to use his name or repeat his name in order to disarm a bomb. So, because if he hadn't done that, it would have ruined all his plans.
So there's that. So there's that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Well, it helps if you guys have
Filmed in
seen
Canada.
more.
Supergirl.
Yeah,
filmed in
most of the
Canada.
CW shows are filmed in Toronto.
Shazam
Yeah,
was filmed.
They
a
filmed
lot of it was filmed in
Shazam
Canada.
there. They filmed the first, and I'm pretty sure they filmed the second Deadpool there also. So Toronto's getting a really big film community.
Hey, good for Canada. And what's his name? Ryan Reynolds is from Canada. He's Canadian. So
Is he?
hey, good for him. Oh, I thought you liked Deadpool.
I do. I think
You know
I didn't
Ryan
know
Reynolds
that.
is from Canada?
But then
I
again, I
didn't
don't
know
claim
that.
to love Ryan Reynolds.
I love Ryan Reynolds. I could be wrong though. Maybe he's not from. Maybe he's not from Canada.
Well-
I swear he's from Canada. Doc, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
You're already looking that up. I'm pretty sure he's from Canada.
Well, that would make Pikachu
sure.
Canadian.
Well,
Yep,
Pikachu
he's
should be
Canadian.
He's Japanese. Pikachu
Well,
should
but
be Japanese.
a Japanese mouse voiced by a Canadian man? I think that the movie should be boycotted at this point.
Well, look how many Spider-Man we've had that aren't American.
Yeah. Well,
And next
two.
to Captain America, well, actually, I would argue that everybody expects Spider-Man to be more American than any superhero.
Yeah, because he comes from Queens.
Yep. And I mean, it's a given that Batman's American, but it should always be. And then they had Christian Bale play Batman, who is not American.
Yeah. A lot of British actors taking the superhero jobs.
I mean, some of them I'm okay with, but yeah, I mean,
That's
Captain
weird. I
America.
really like Christian Bale as Batman. I thought he did great.
He does really great. The way he always talks,
He was
though,
good.
in his American accent's always funny because it sounds like he's like whispering. He's like, I can't even replicate what he does, but he talks so low. But when
Not
he's
also not a very tall guy.
yeah, he's about average
Yeah.
height.
5'10", I think. Doc, Christian Bale. Height,
I
5'10",
don't know about his
5'10".
height, but
Well, yeah,
Ryan Reynolds, on
5'9",
the other hand, is
5'10".
6'2".
Well, that's great if we were wondering about his height. Use that
Which
as
is
a part of
interesting
the-
because
Christian Bale
if you
is
look
6
at it,
foot.
is he really?
That's
He's 6
surprising.
foot tall.
That's
That
surprising.
is surprising. They, because they did not make him look
He
tall
looks
in the
so
movies.
small.
Though he looks short in the movies.
He looks
And
like
he
a
was
very
looks short
small
as
Batman.
Batman.
Born in
He looks short.
1974.
He looks short as Batman. How did they make?
They did not
a
do
superhero?
him justice.
Yeah, they did not. They made him look short.
Wow,
That's garbage. They should reshoot that whole thing
that really makes
because
you think.
in the comics, Batman is 6'2", and Superman's like 6'4".
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
So they did not do a good job. I always thought that Christian Bale was short, but he's 6 foot.
That movie makes him look shorter than he is.
It's never the case. It's always the opposite. They always try to make the short actors look tall. They just totally did disservice to him.
That's weird.
Interestingly enough, Henry Cavill is 6'1". Sorry.
You telling me Christian Bale is almost as tall as Henry Cavill?
Almost.
And look how tall Henry Cavill looked in that movie.
Wow.
Something must be done. Doc, take a memo. Seriously though, look at how tall Henry Cavill looks in that movie, and look at how tall douchebag looks in that movie. What's his name?
Ben
Ben
Affleck.
Affleck.
He
Because Ben
looks
Affleck's
kinda-
tall.
he-
Ben Affleck's like 6'1", isn't he? Isn't he like 6'1"?
I think he's 6', 6'1".
So I mean, they stuck to decent heights that represents the comic book. Obviously, you're not gonna find a 6'4" actor to play Superman.
Ben Affleck is 6'4".
Wow.
Holy! So how did they do that? When they stand face to face, don't they? Isn't he shorter
Batman's
than
shorter.
Superman?
Yeah.
I mean, in the actual movie, when they're like
Yeah,
face to face, isn't it?
in the movie he's shorter than Superman.
That's because Batman's always on his ass the whole time.
Well, even when he's on his feet. I mean, on his butt he'd be short, yeah.
That's crazy. So,
Maybe they didn't want. That's weird.
that really say people who are not nerds are not going to be pissed by this, but I'm pissed. Now I'm pissed. They made Christian Bale look short when he's not short, and then they made Batman look short in comparison to Superman, which he's supposed to be.
Right.
He's supposed to be. But how did they accomplish that? I mean, I know how they accomplished it, but
They
that's
spent
just
a
great.
lot
What did
of
they do?
time.
They're like, go ahead and stand on this, Henry Cavill, when you're facing off against Ben Affleck, so that you look taller.
They must have just cared about how much Ben Affleck was working out in the movie, and then they thought, well, we didn't really show that he's tall. Don't worry about it.
Well, they probably make Superman look taller, or Henry Cavill, because Amy Adams is only 5'4".
Well, that's okay though, because that's normal for the comics, although females to be super short. But what I'm saying is there's actual times when they're like face to face in the movie. So Ben Affleck would have been towering over Henry Cavill, but he's not.
That's really
So
weird.
they had to change the filming just to make him look taller, to stick true to the actual storyline of the comics. You can't have a shorter Superman. It would be bizarre. It would be funny.
If you
It would
look
be
at
comic.
the Batman versus Superman, the logo, Dawn of Justice, and it does. Batman actually looks taller.
I'll have to look.
I'm looking right at it.
Well, that's
But that doesn't mean that I. So you're looking at what? He's actually
I
what are you looking at? Tell me what
I
you're
just
looking at.
Googled Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, and it shows, Batman on
Was
the
that the
left,
name of the
Superman on
movie?
the right.
yeah, that is the name of the movie.
That's the name of the movie. What a stupid fucking name!
Well, yeah, they have
Yeah.
to set up what comes next. How else would they do that besides the name of the movie?
Justice League.
Dawn of douchiness. Of douchebags. Nothing's coming up when I type in Dawn of douchebags.
I don't think Zack
It's
Snyder
Dawn
would
of-
Just
appreciate
type
that.
in Batman versus Superman and click on images.
Dawn of what? Dawn of something?
Batman
Dawn-
versus Superman.
Dawn
Yeah,
of
Dawn of
Super
what?
Friends.
Ugh. Why?
Don't type in Dawn of anything. Type Batman versus
Don't
Superman.
tell me what to type in.
Better
Okay,
yet,
I'm
we
looking.
could just act like the movie
He does
didn't
not.
happen.
You are wrong, Doc. They look the same height. But if you look at the picture, what is Ben Affleck doing in the picture? Hello. What is he doing in the
they're-
picture?
I'm looking.
He's got his head bent forward.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking
Yes.
about that picture. I'm talking
Are you
about,
talking about where they stand next to each other?
yeah, with the Superman symbol and the Batman symbol mixed
Oh.
together in the background.
Superman looks taller in this picture.
The picture I'm looking at is they've got the symbol
Yeah.
superimposed behind them, and they are
Right.
face to face.
Yeah, you just have to scroll
They
down.
are staring right at each other, and Ben Affleck's head is tilted down. He's physically bending his head forward. And then there's another picture where there's him with Henry Cavill and Wonder Woman, and he's got his head bent down again. And then I'm looking at another picture where it's all three of them, and Superman is in the middle, and that's what is that? Yeah, Dawn of Justice. Superman's in the middle, standing on something clearly, and Batman and Wonder Woman are behind him. Oh, and then this one I see Batman wearing his outfit where he's going to beat Superman's ass, and his head is bent forward again. And slouching. He's slouching in every picture. His head is bent forward. The only time where he looks bigger than him on the pictures I see is when he's wearing all of his armor that they stole from
Dark Knight Rises.
the Dark Knight Returns.
Or Returns, yeah.
And then he is definitely taller than Superman in that picture. But they can say that because he would be wearing armored boots and everything. But all the other pictures, if you look, his head's bent forward.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
So that's how they did it in the picture. They're probably like, okay, Ben, you got to either get on your knees or you got to tilt your head forward. They can get away with it, though, because Batman is supposed to be sulky and gloomy. So maybe he's got bad posture, although we all know he doesn't.
No, he should have perfect posture.
Well, I mean, the cowl gets a little heavy after a while, I guess. But anyway, that's, when we kind of diverge and we had to get bitchy because I wanted to know how tall Christian Bale was. Anyway, the Shazam. I give it 2 Beaveman thumbs up. And you, Doc?
I'll give it 1 out of 2 thumbs.
So you're saying 50%. So you don't even
Yeah.
agree. You're not
Wow.
even remotely agreeing with Rotten Tomatoes that gave him like 70-some%.
I think it's at like Shazam. I think it's at like 96.
The movie was enjoyable, but they tried to do things with it that I don't think they should have done. So
It's
yeah.
a good thing they didn't consult you
yeah, well,
because it made a shitload of money. Let me ask you this though, Doc. If you started, let's say, if you went back and read the early comics, do you think you would have enjoyed the movie more?
it's possible. If I enjoyed the comics, I suppose.
You don't enjoy
I-
comics?
I don't know if I would have enjoyed those comics. Excuse me.
Well, I think
Yeah.
that it's kind of fun to watch the movies and see how closely they stick to the comics and see if you can pick out stuff that is happening in the comics, that is happening in the movie. So when I saw Shazam, I was like, oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing this. This is how they're going. Oh, that kid with the crutches, that's going to be Freddy. and that's exactly how they went. So that was, to me, it was fun.
Yeah, it's definitely fun to watch the movies like that because since I read more Marvel comics, I notice it more in the Marvel movies. More so DC, I just watch it to see what's going on with it,
To see if it's going to fail or not,
pretty much, and hope that it doesn't.
and hope that it doesn't. Did you see Aquaman, Doc?
No, but I've heard it was
Really?
really good.
It was. You guys should see Aquaman.
I will have to eventually.
If nothing else, see it just because what's his name's in it.
Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I like Jason Momoa. So a lot of people make fun of him and say he's not a good actor. I think he's a good actor.
I've only seen him in Justice League and
He was
these movies.
In Game of Thrones, he was cool.
was
He
Khal,
was super
Khal
cool.
Drogo in
Yep.
Game of Thrones. In
And then they remade Conan. They remade Conan, and he played Conan the Barbarian, which was kind of comical. At least he could do the dialogue better than Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he was no Arnold Schwarzenegger. But the movie was cute.
I hated the remake.
You hate all remakes.
Just about.
That's why from now on, your name is Old Man Doc. How old are you now, Doc?
Too old.
How old are you now? How old are you now?
I don't want to say.
I genuinely want to know how old you are now.
Jason
You're serious
Momoa
tonight,
was
say. You're serious
also
tonight.
in
Jason
a show that I liked.
Interestingly enough, Jason Momoa is 5'11".
No,
We have to
that's not what I was
Wikipedia
going
your
to say.
Jason Momoa is 6 foot tall.
As you know, I am a fan of the Stargate series, and he was in
No, did
Stargate
you-
Atlantis.
You should ask me if I've ever seen Stargate, the movie.
Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. We did a podcast about it.
I know.
But I
Jason
still haven't
Momoa
seen the
is
TV
6'4", by the way.
Holy moly, is he really?
Yes, he is.
He seems
And
like
he
someone
married,
who'd be that big.
and he married Lisa Bonet, who's got to be like 5 foot. So he has to tower over her by like a foot and a half. I mean, she's short. She's got to be like 5 foot. Doc, how tall is
5'2".
Lisa Bonet?
5'2".
5'2". Wow. And he's 6'4". That's crazy. So they're gonna have to they would have had to do the same thing with him in the Justice League movie whenever he's near Superman.
Oh, that's why they just
'Cause
killed Superman off because they knew it'd be too much effort.
Because he's too short, or we gotta get a shorter Aquaman or a shorter Batman if they're staying true to the comics.
Well, they might have succeeded now that Ben Affleck is gone.
Yeah, it'll be easier to get somebody shorter than 6'4". All right, cool. Doc, how old are you?
46.
You're 46.
Ooh, I heard dust
So are
come
you
out of his
older than
bones
me,
when
or
he
are
said
you
that.
younger than I am? Are you younger than me or older than me?
Just a little bit older. I'll be
Okay, so I was born in
47.
March.
I'll be 47 very soon.
Okay, so why so much age shaming? Why are you so ashamed of how old you are? Other than the fact that I call you Old Man Doc, because I call you Old Man. I'd have called you Old Man Doc 10 years ago.
Yeah, well, I just
Yeah.
some things I just don't like making public.
He's just sad that he couldn't make friends in his own grade.
For all of his listeners, for all
I
of Doc's
didn't.
listeners,
I had hell of a trouble making friends in my school. I had to go all the way to Bellevue for that.
and that's the going to the bottom of the barrel. He had to go all the way to Bellevue to make friends.
That's when there's no
Now he
fish, you're just
win- he
scraping
wins.
scales.
He's exactly right. He's like, man, I've just burned my bridges in every town around here. Let me go to the most redneck town that I can find.
Befriend a small child.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, what else to say about Shazam? Good movie. I'm looking forward to the next one that's already in production, right?
I think they're starting this year or sometime soon. I don't know what's going on with the Black Adam movie. That's supposed to come out soon too.
That'll be exciting to see. You can't beat. I mean, The Rock has made some silly movies, but I still like him.
He's a pretty
Even
good
his
actor.
one where he was like, even the one where he was a dental, where he was the tooth fairy.
Yeah.
Even that one was cute by God.
Luckily, I evaded that one.
No, you saw it when you were little.
Oh, well, I don't remember it.
You loved it. It was your favorite movie.
No.
You even ran around in a tutu for a while. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
IMDb says Black Adam was supposed to appear this year, so it still might.
This come out this year?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not
Well, but if you
happening.
look
Yep.
around how fast the turnaround time was on Shazam,
Yeah.
they made that in like a year.
Yeah, they were filming it last year. That's when all the
They
set
made that
photos came out.
fast, and it's never the filming that takes forever; it's the editing. So they were fast.
I bet you it comes out around Christmas time.
Well, I don't know if it would do that because that would probably not do too well.
They haven't even. I mean, Joker comes out in October, and they've got 2 trailers already.
Yeah, if it came out at Christmas, my guess would be February. Do like a Deadpool.
Yeah, that's probably
Because
not
if you
smart
come
to go
out
against.
if you come out at Christmas, Christmas is now dominated by Disney doing Star Wars.
Yep, that's not going to be a good time.
No, you wouldn't want to release Black Adam at that time if it comes out. Of course, we're just speculating. We don't know what the heck we're talking about. But Disney's kind of taking over. I think Disney's taking over Christmas time.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I'd watch it. I'd watch it.
Well, I'd watch it
before
too,
I'd watch
but-
another Star Wars movie.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to, one of these days, we're going to have to talk about Star Wars. You know what we're going to have to do, Doc?
he just
listening.
gave up.
Turn up your fucking hearing aid. Stop looking up other shit. You're like, I'm gonna look this up, and we're gonna. Well, of course we're gonna.
I'm
film
listening. You said, you know what I'm going to
this.
do.
He got-
I've just about
No, I don't.
I've just about had it with Disney's revisions of the Star Wars.
He got so
The
mad at
first
the
three.
mention, he just left.
The first 3 were so awesome. They were so amazing. And let me tell you, Jar Jar Binks, that guy's got to go in there. We're gonna have to watch episode 3, 4, and 5, and then 1, 2, and 3, and then the rest of them. Because those first 3, which are not the first 3, I'm talking about the first 3 that came later, are pieces of garbage that you love, and they suck.
When was the last time
4,
you
5,
watched
and 6, you mean?
No,
Even episodes 4, 5, and 6, yeah.
episode 4, 5, and 6 of the originals.
Correct.
Yeah, those are the ones I'm talking about the
prequels?
second iteration of the pieces of shit, the 1, 2, and 3, the ones that you love, that you
I
think
never
are good
said I
movies.
loved them.
You said they were better movies than the Disney movies.
They're better than the new garbage that they're coming out
That
with.
is so not true. Those
No.
movies sucked so bad.
There, last time I watched them, I rewatched them all a few years ago. 1, 2, and 3 are okay, but compared to even with how the new Star Wars is, still much, much better than what they were doing back in the early 2000s.
Those movies were terrible. They made Darth Vader into a wuss. Do you know that Darth Vader to me used to be the epitome of the best villain, and they changed his. They changed his perception in my mind.
Well, now all you have is
Those
a caterpillar.
bastards. Now all I have is a little guy with a throat box who's a caterpillar. Exactly. That's what I've got. That's now the epitome of evil.
Well, we have come very far in film. It tells you that much.
Right. Anyway, all right. So Doc, that's what we're gonna have
And
to do, man.
For
We're
the
gonna have to
record,
go back.
for the record,
Oh no.
Darth Vader, 6'2".
He's not real. Are you telling me James Earl Jones is 6'2"?
No, 6'2". That James Earl Jones did the voice. He wasn't the guy in the suit.
I don't know. I think you could fit James Earl Jones in there. I don't know why you wouldn't.
No, not unless you had a bunch of private bars and 2x4s. You're not fitting him in a suit. But no, he was not the guy.
Actually-
in the
Yeah, I
suit.
know.
James Earl Jones is 6'2".
Oh, see? Right on the money.
Yeah, but Darth Vader's like 6'8". Wasn't the guy who played Darth Vader an Olympian?
I have no idea. All I know is that
I
for
don't know.
some reason they just decided that evil was truly white when they took off his helmet.
The
He
first
was
actor
very
in the
white,
Vader
'cause he was
suit
anemic. He
was
was anemic.
the first actor in the Vader suit was David Prowse, who was 6'6".
Yeesh.
See,
Well, he had cybernetic legs. That doesn't count.
he's a big. He's a big man. Well,
Hey,
okay.
when women get fake boobs, they don't say, "Oh, well, those are fake boobs." That doesn't count.
I think legs is a little.
What? How did you
Fake
draw that
legs, fake
correlation?
boobs.
What correlation did you just draw? I don't even understand.
What
Oh
are you
my God.
Googling?
Fake legs, fake boobs. It's no different.
Take away
He's
his
looking
phone.
Fake is fake.
Take away that man's
He's
As
phone.
long as it
Googling- yeah,
achieves
he's
the correct
Googling fake legs
objective.
and feet. Okay. So, are you up for that though, Doc? Okay. We have to watch now here's the question though. I would say you have to watch one at a time and talk about one at a time. Because for what? Let me tell you why. Because the quote first three are such horrible movies that I can't possibly sit through all three of them and then have a conversation.
I mean, when I got my wisdom teeth out a few years ago, that's what I watched. I think I
Yeah,
started
but you had
at one.
Vicodin too. You had Vicodin. And
I
we
guess,
don't.
but I was still in pain. It still hurt.
The only thing I didn't, the biggest mistake of the first three that I think they made was trying to justify or quantify the Force into some kind of alien bacteria, some shit.
Oh, how about
midichlorians,
having
they
stupid
call it.
characters?
Yeah, he's mad that
How
they're
about having stupid
bacteria.
fucking characters?
Mitochlorians.
Stupid characters. How about making Yoda digital instead of using the original Yoda?
Yeah,
know,
that
when they
might have been a better choice.
How about, let's try to make Yoda look young. I'm like, why? It would have only been 30 years.
30 years can do a lot to an alien.
I'm like, who's already 500 years old?
Well,
like,
No, he was a lot older
you
than
could
that.
argue
He
that
was
whatever,
point.
that's the point.
You could argue
That's
that
damn near
point.
900 years old.
Well, whatever, that's my point. 30 years they're going to try to make him look younger. That's what they were trying to do in those first three movies. They tried to make Yoda look younger. I'm like, why wouldn't you just use the classic Yoda that everybody loves and wants to see?
I mean, it makes sense because any passage of time matters. On his birthday, he turned to 1,000 and he looked fine, but he just died. So maybe that 30 years was important to de-age him.
I don't know, but what they did was the characters were dumb. The character development, the idea behind the midichlorians was stupid. They could have done so many other things, but yeah, if you want to do that, if you want to really talk Star Wars, Doc, I'll talk Star Wars with you. But you have I don't know if it's your thing, but you don't really research anything. So you would be pulling shit out your ass, and then I'd be like, no, what about this? And you'd be like, no, I remember back in 2004 when I saw it. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I just watched it.
It'd be interesting to hear that episode because you know the first thing that he says about, what is it, like The Last Jedi, the one that just came out? Too many women.
Where did that come from?
Too many women. Where'd that black fella come from?
There's an Asian woman in this?
Troopers are black.
General Grievous, I could believe, but women.
That'd be like if my dad was doing this podcast.
No, he'd say, "What's a Star Wars?"
Star Troopers aren't black.
I'm sure Grandpa knew back in the day what Star Wars was, but you ask him now, he'd be like, "What?"
he was when he thinks of stormtroopers, it's a totally different thing.
He's like, "Well, back when I was in the army, stormtroopers were
Nazis." Anyway,
That's kind of what they were going for. I assume,
it is
in the
what
movie.
if you look at their outfits. Yeah, if you look at the original movies, those outfits were very, very similar to German officer uniforms.
And they did
Nazi officers.
They did a lot of that in the newest one, the one that came out last year, 2 years ago. There's a lot of it's pretty blunt in your face though. It's not very subtle like it used to be.
Well, I don't even know if it was subtle. I think what they did was they took an enemy that we were all familiar with, even though it had been 30 years later. Even as a kid growing up, Doc and I, probably when you played war, weren't you shooting Nazis?
He was shooting women.
Well, women Nazis. They were Nazi youth.
Find a nice balance. This is for ruining Star Wars.
I don't know where you guys get your ideas from, but
They're like, what's that big kid over there crying about?
This is for ruining Star Wars. But no, anyway, seriously though, Doc, is that what you were doing? That's what I was doing. I was shooting Nazis when I played war. So, shooting the Germans.
He's reading on what he did as a child. He's got to look at
nah, I'm just waiting for it to be over.
No, I'm asking you a question. I'm saying, didn't they? That's probably what they did with the original themes. Is they picked an enemy that was still in our head.
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't have picked. It wasn't time to pick the Russians yet, really, for us.
That is kind of crazy that it was only 30 years after that.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Well, the whole Nazi, I mean, the way they marched in parade-like fashion, and they had the emperor who was in total control and doing away with the Senate, and taking over, seizing power, and it was very fascist. So yeah, it all fit.
And who wrote those movies?
I have no idea.
What's his ethnicity?
George Lucas,
Yeah,
Is he Jewish?
was he Jewish?
he's Jewish.
Didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure he is. Go ahead, look that up,
So
Doc.
now Star Wars is.
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg, I assume.
Yeah, Steven
I think
Spielberg
are
is.
both Jewish.
Spielberg kind of makes
Pretty sure
sense.
George. Oh, Doc! Come on!
Oh, yikes!
No, I think George. I think George Lucas is also Jewish.
So does that make Star Wars a propaganda film? Now you got.
Isn't the first quote 3 released in the 2000s propaganda films against the Bush administration?
Very well.
Yes,
could
George
be.
Lucas is Jewish.
There you go. So yeah, I think that's the theme that he picked, and because when he made those movies, him and Steven Spielberg, they were older. They came from that era where it was still very fresh in their families' minds. And even though it was 30 years later, I'm seeing it as a 7-year-old. I knew what the Nazis were.
Right.
So they picked what was the scariest thing that had ever happened in modern times. And let's translate that and make it sometime in a galaxy far, far away, long, long ago. Let's use it for, I think those movies are kind of political.
As they once said, committing the oldest sins in the newest ways.
Well, Shazam was a great movie.
Yeah, Shazam, great movie. So you want to someday we'll take that challenge then, Doc. It won't be for the next podcast. When you're on summer break, what do you think?
Okay.
Summer break, Star Wars. What we can do is I can actually get a panel of people, I betcha, to discuss Star Wars. We could do up to 3 or 4 guests at a time. I just gotta get a couple more mics. Well, you don't want to totally nerd out on Star Wars? You're afraid that you won't research it. You're afraid you won't research it.
That all of the Disney material that has been introduced never happened.
Okay.
Well, then you'll get your chance.
Although
chance.
I haven't seen the new Han Solo movie, so I guess I should watch that.
Well, that wasn't a good representation. It was
okay.
It did okay. It was cute. I had to watch it twice. Let me tell you that way. I love Han Solo, but I had to watch it twice.
Well, you're only supposed to watch it once. That's why it's called Solo.
Well,
did you watch it alone?
There's more than one. There's more than one
Well,
movie. The second time I did watch it alone. So, okay. Well, Shazam, liked it, loved it.
Great.
It was a good movie. Everybody, get out there, go read the DC comics, and so you can get a better grasp on everything. Doc, that's your assignment. Go try to have some other representation of Shazam other than the beloved 70s TV show
that you've watched not since the 70s.
that you watched 30 years ago.
Oh, here it comes.
He appeared in a couple of the Justice League, or not Justice League, but like Super Friends. I think there was an episode or two where he appeared there.
Well, eventually, if that's why I say go read the comics because they're fun, obviously. But there is different Earths, and then they merged them. So Shazam was on Earth.
Wasn't he on
Earth S?
he was on another
Earth S.
They all clashed together.
Yeah. Then after a period, they're all on the same because Superman is a superhero in the comics only in Shazam's world originally. Right. Just like Shazam is only in a comic book superhero in Superman's Earth, which is the main Earth. Superman's Earth is the main Earth. And there's like Earth S, Earth C.
2.
And they all get merged after, Earth 2, which is where Supergirl's
Supergirl's on Earth 2. She is. And then they all merge in like 4 different
And then heck,
events.
there's Power Girl, who's Superman's cousin, and she's on a different Earth. Well, I don't know. It's all crazy.
I don't know.
But not anymore.
Now it's all
not
one.
Anymore. Now it's all one.
Yep.
Maybe that's where they got the whole thing with the Flash, and the different worlds.
Yeah,
you know,
it
how
is
vibe.
because they had Crisis on Infinite, whatever that they do.
Oh, that's what it is. Crazy Sign Infinite.
Yeah, that's what they do. They
Yep.
take inspiration from that comic event from like the 80s.
So look, there's just a plethora of things out there. See, instead of spending all your time studying, you should be reading comics, Doc.
It's a plethora.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. We talked about Shazam a little bit,
Somewhere in there.
somewhere in there. So I will now not refer to him as Captain Marvel anymore because Captain Marvel is now a chick. From now on, according to DC, since 2011. And that is how it's going to be for now. All right. As always, I am the Beaveman. I'd like to thank our guest. Skylar, would you like to plug yourself again so that people know what you're up and about and doing out there?
Sure. Yeah, so like I said in the beginning, I make music and it's good.
Not for old people.
Yeah, I was told today that it is explicit, which was decently surprising to me. I mean, like I know it's somewhat explicit, but he almost sounded disgusted, so that was fun. But yeah, so
So is our podcast.
so if you just Google my name or search my name on music streaming platforms, that'll all pop up. Makes it super easy.
That's Skylar with an A.
Yeah.
Skylar with an A, not the girl, Skylar with an E.
Yep, Skylar Beavers, last name just like the animal, as I have to always say.
And then people still ask you how to spell it, because that's what happens to me. All right, so I am the Beaveman saying adios, mooch fuckos. It's been fun.
Crickets, bitches.
Goodbye.
What's really funny to me is I'm sitting here editing the podcast late at night. We had some issues with, Skylar's file not getting uploaded, and then he went out to dinner, and so had to wait for him to see if he could actually get it uploaded. We were worried that we had done the whole entire podcast and not been able to, then wouldn't be able to release it. So I'm sitting here editing it, I'm listening to it, and it's very interesting how easily one idea can influence someone else's idea, even if it's incorrect, because we're sitting there talking about Star Wars, and we're referencing George Lucas, and we're referencing Steven Spielberg, but Steven Spielberg didn't have anything to do really with Star Wars. That was all George Lucas. They were good friends, and they did talk about Star Wars, but he didn't write any of the Star Wars movies. But here we are, we're talking about it, and we've convinced ourselves that he had something to do with it, and debatedly, he did have some influence, but no, he didn't write the movies. So I just thought that was kind of funny how easily one idea infects the others, and you start to have that same thought process as if it is correct. So for those of you who listen to the podcast and end up like I do sometimes when I listen to podcasts, and it's kind of funny when you're yelling at the podcast. If you yell at our podcast, that's why, and I do apologize ahead of time, but it was kind of funny. So here's my early redacting and apology, but it's still kind of amusing. All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody. Have a good night.